All right, welcome everyone to the first ever B&B on the clock. It's your boy Reggie Boston, one of the B's, and I'd like to introduce my partner Jamar Butler.
What's up? Hey, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing out there? I hope I want to appreciate everybody for tuning in. I am the originator, the creator, the one and only Jay Beezy Fo Weezy. It's like, nah. Uh, I am the other half of the B's. Not to confuse
Yes,
yourself
sir.
with Triple B. But
Hey, right.
but my friends call me Butler. Y'all call me Butler. Family call me Jamar. Grandma call me Jams. So,
Yeah. Y'all know I'm Coach Raj or Raj, whatever one you choose. And I'm also the second B, last name Boston. Some of y'all call me Boston too. That's who I be, man. So we're gonna start this pod off with a little introductions about ourselves. So Mr. Butler, my partner in crime here, please go first.
of course, of course. Well, it's not too much, not I don't want to get all sentimental, but I kind of grew up, I was adopted. I grew up in Harrisburg. Shout out to my 717 fam that are tuning in. But I grew up in Harrisburg, PA. That's about an hour and a half away from where y'all at up there in the Philadelphia, Chester area. And I grew up in the church. My mom, shout out to Miss Helen Butler that's watching. She was definitely one of those people that did not play. I grew up in a household where it was always a guest, always a guest in the house. So, damn, I'm having flashbacks, boy. Couldn't stand that. I couldn't stand that. But my mom was always one of those people that, to this day, even to this day, she's always like trying to help people, taking people in, watching people's kids. I've had a host of play cousins and that formed friendships. Even she ran a foster care, so I also had like foster brothers and sisters too. So I remember at one point in time, we had maybe I think it was a 4 bedroom and an attic, but we had at least like 17 people living in one point in time. It was just like a hotel, and it was just like to the point where you kind of just like watched her like kind of struggle, and like as the oldest, kind of it was like a lot of responsibility that I wasn't ready for. I was trying to be too goofy, be the class clown. My sister, Allie, shout out if you watching. She was the one that kind of held everything down. It was just me and my brother Monte and Josh. They were the ones that we kind of stuck together. We were like the people that are thick as thieves. And then some one day, my mom caught the Holy Ghost. Oh man, she caught the Holy Ghost and decided to move down to North Carolina. I did my high school career down in North Carolina. Met some great people down there 704 Charlotte area. And yeah, my mom told me to go out and find a job. And I didn't really appreciate the way that she had told me to go out and find a job. So I thought me getting back at her, I would go to the first recruiter. And I was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna get a job, all right, and it got benefits. You ain't got no benefits. So
That's a
hey,
classic
so
story.
y'all, I'm telling you, it's a true story. True story. So I remember I went out on my little bike with the pegs on the back. And I'm riding around Charlotte. And what happened was I was so upset with the application process because like it was at that point where everything was switching to digital. So you had to do
Okay.
all online. That's when you had
Right.
snagajob.com and all
Mm-hmm.
them corny little sites that are trying to help you. But at the same time, I'm old school. My mom was old school. So she was like, go in there, let them see your face, fill out the application. And I was trying to explain to her, like, it's not the same as it was. You
It
just can't
doesn't
walk
work that
into
way.
you can't go into a barbershop like, hey yo, let me sweep your floor for like $5. You can't do that no more. So
Right.
that's where we always had bumped heads at. But I'm true. I went down to the recruiter. My man was like, yo, if you want to play basketball like full time and get a and I was like, you mean to tell me I could be like David Robinson? He's like, just
So
like
he,
David Robinson.
he sold you he sold you
Boy. And I was like, shoot, that's it. At the
so
time,
sign me up.
Yo, so the crazy part is the Lakers had just won the championship. So I'm already riding that wave at the time too. So you couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me nothing at the time. I was like, bet.
Yo,
David
recruiters
Robinson,
ain't
here I come.
nothing, yo.
And so,
Recruiters ain't nothing, yo.
bro, I swear. And the crazy part is, shout out to Simon Bryant if he might be retired by now, but shout out to Simon Bryant if he watching. But yeah, Simon Bryant got me. It's funny because his initials was James Lee Bryant and mine is Jamar Lee Butler. And so he was always like he had every connection in the book. Like, so I was like, man, that a car that gets you with driving the TMP. Now I know they TMPs, but at the time he had some nice little cars he was whipping out or whatever.
Right.
I was like, bro, I can't wait to get my little whip, bro. But I was like, so that was the thing. I just signed up, and I remember coming back, and she was pissed. She was pissed. She was out. And I knew it was going to make her even more mad if I told her I was going infantry. So I was like hell bent on going infantry at first. And then, man, after that, I was like, you know what, F it. I was like, I brought the recruiter to the house. He talked to her, whatever. Because I think I was about to turn 18. I wasn't 18 just yet. It was going to my senior year. But yeah, man, signed the dotted line, went to MEPS and all that good stuff. And I didn't realize, it didn't hit me until you're on the bus to Fort Jackson. It was like 2 weeks after I graduated. I didn't even have a summer after high school. It was so funny because I was like, man, this summer, like I'm about to go to the Army, you know what I'm saying, make my little money, which I did, but it didn't really sink in until you got that first drill sergeant yelled in your face. But I survived. 10 years later, I'm still in. Right now, currently stationed in Germany. Germany just opened up, so I don't really have too many horror stories yet about the German life. I did go on the town one night, but I don't know if I'm gonna be doing that tomorrow. I'm too old to be going out there, man, because the sun don't set till about 11. So you gotta think about it. Next thing you know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. You're like, dang, and the sun comes up at like 4:30 over here. So it's like, bro, like I literally, that's how exactly we left. By the time we finally got to a little spot to chill at, time went by real fast. Next thing you know, we in the taxi coming home and the sun coming up. I'm just like, bro. I was like, I don't see how y'all do this. I ain't built like that no more.
Yeah,
I ain't built like that no more. But it's fun. I mean, I can see it's a lot of stuff to do. Can't wait to travel. There's stuff like that. A lot of places. But I mean, that's gotta be in a nutshell. I'm married to my beautiful wife of 3 years, Twyla. Shout out to you.
Shout out to
I got
my sis.
And then and then shout out to Deuce, Sam, and Matt. Man, we recording this. Deuce will be 2 in 9 days, 8 days. Yeah, so
my youngin, Deuce, my guy.
Man, Deuce is a handful, boy.
So let's talk about how we actually became friends and family.
I got this. I got you.
And then we'll go into or you want to do my introduction first? You want me to talk about who I am first?
Oh, no, I'm going to talk about how I met the infamous Reggie Boston. All right, so
let's do it.
I don't know if he remembered this, but he had came in one time. This is when you and Tosh were dating.
Okay.
And you had came in and you had bought a bottle over to my dad's house. I don't know if you remember this. And I'm sitting there and me, that was my first time seeing you. So naturally, I remember texting my mom and I was like, who the hell just walked up in here like and I was like, who is this? And she was like, oh, that's I don't know why every female in our family always referred to boyfriends as friends. Even from my grandma on down, nobody wanted to
Mom does it too.
You in a
Mom does it too. You're not a boy. There's no such thing as a boyfriend. Friend. That's the friend.
I was like, she was like, oh, that's Tasha's friend. I was like, oh, okay.
Friend? What type of friend?
Yeah, I'm like, all right, well, whatever. I'm not even gonna do this right now because y'all irritating. But yeah, nah. So then we just kind of kicked it. I remember we had chatted it up. We had just you had talked about you was in the Army or whatever, and I was like, oh shoot. And me personally, I think at that point in my career, I hadn't seen somebody that was a vet that was around my age, not trying to
Right.
put your business out there, but around
Right.
my age that was like kind of living like life after the military.
Right.
I think that was kind of like for me, it was more so of a learning process. So it's kind of seeing you like in the element, and then like just being black. No, I'm not racist. But just
But
seeing like
again, that's part of it. That is part of it.
but like just seeing a familiar face or whatever, you know,
Right.
you're like, oh snap, it's certain things you can relate to, and then boom, of course, it was sports. I think that was
Right.
kind of what kind of solidified. I remember, I remember Tosh used to hate because I used to call you more than I used
Oh
to talk
yeah.
to her because
Right.
I was like, there was nobody like legit. I couldn't talk to my brothers too much because they were like, shout out to little man Brell and Jalen. You know what I'm saying? Y'all some bandwagons. But like they can't really give me stats and like the nitty gritty.
Right.
Y'all hear a lot on the show. We kind of go
Which which kind
in
of
depth. We're
started this
not,
whole
yeah,
podcast.
right. And so like over the years, I mean, like over the years, it kind of just kind of got better and better and better. And then like, of course, you know, like exchanging phone numbers and texting and showing
Right.
up to functions and all that good stuff. Like if I go home, it'd be like usually how it goes. It'd be like I hit up my cousin Sierra, then I hit up her mom Tasha, then I hit up Reggie.
Mhm.
Outside,
Yeah.
that's just outside the family. That's usually how it works. Outside like the immediate family, usually it's like
Right.
I'll hit up my mom first or whatever, let her know I'm coming through. But after that, it's usually Sierra, then Tasha, then Reggie, and then everybody just kind of falls into after that. But yeah, that's how we kind of met. For all those that kind of figure out how the heck you all the way across CZ, you linked up with your boy. That's how we know.
Yeah.
We kind of we family. So that's how it ain't
Right.
no random. Just like get together. We family. So that's how I got started. So yeah.
Yeah. So my wife is his cousin, his first cousin actually. So like that's kind of how this whole thing kicks off. My
Yes,
wife
sir.
Tasha. Shout out to the wife. Hope she enjoys this first podcast. So a little bit about myself. Again, I'm Reggie Boston, Coach Reg, to most little Reg to 95% of the world because my pop name is Reg also, and he's Big Reg.
Big Red.
I'm from Philly. I'm a military kid though. My dad served in the Navy. Um, I grew up in Philly. I lived in Philly my whole life, up until I was 19. But before that, like I agree. I was the only child to my two parents, Sharon and Reggie. Um, I went to school in Philly. Everything was Philly. Elementary school, middle school, high school was Philly. Went to Germantown High, class of 2000. Shout out all my people from class of 2000. Y'all know how
What's
secret
a
we are about
2000?
that.
Golly.
Y'all know how secret we are about that class of 2000 thing. So
Man.
we live in that. Um, I went to college for a year. I went to IUP. Realized that wasn't for me. Like college just wasn't for me. I was done with school. I didn't want to be
Not
in
to cut you
school.
off, but I thought you said ICDC, bro. Hey,
No, we didn't do the Little Romeo school, bro.
Go my bad.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I did that for a year. Wasn't for me, and I decided. I woke up one morning. I saw a flyer in my dorm room, like in the dorm room hallway. I saw a flyer for the Army, and it was like they pay for school, and I was like, "Ooh, that looked like my move right there." I called my dad, like, "Yo," I'm like, "Listen, Willie ain't feeling school." I was like, "Yo, when I come home, like, can we really talk about this military thing?" My pop was like, "Nigga, what are you talking about? You ain't going to no military." I get home.
Man.
So like a week later, I went home and we were sitting at the table. I'm like, "Listen, I'm about to go see this recruiter. Like this is real. Like this is really what I want to do." He was like, "I don't even believe you. Like you was at ROTC in high school. Like, bro, you don't even like the military." I was like, "Yeah, this is kind of what I want to do. Like, I think this is what I want to do." So his whole thing was, if you go in the military, then you need to get a skill. I was like, "Oh, I go to the military. I want to shoot guns. Like that's all I do. I want to shoot guns." I went in the infantry. Pop was like, "Yo, are you serious? Like, you really going in infantry?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm going in infantry." You just will not listen to my advice. No, I want to go shoot guns. That's all I want to do. I remember our conversation. This is literally how our conversation went too. Going to the military, best 8 years of my life. I owe the military so much for the growth I got as a person. It helped me become a man. I went in the infantry, served my years, did a tour in Iraq. Listen, saw some stuff I probably shouldn't have seen because we was over there and things happened, and you live to tell the story. Like somebody got to survive to tell the story, and just so happened I got to be that lucky one to survive and tell the story.
Right.
Came home, I worked. I have three beautiful children of my own and a stepdaughter who was awesome. So that gives me 4 children altogether. Me and my wife Tasha, who I've been married to for 3 years now, met 6 years ago. Actually, 6 years, because we met right after I had my youngest daughter, who is 6 now, Giselle. My sons are 15 and 14. Jalen and Jameer was my guys. Yeah, man. Yeah, like so. Like they are everything. And the reason why I'm called Coach Reg is because I coach high school. I coach girls high school basketball. Shout out to my friends Central team. I love you kids. Like we're gonna have a great season this year. Just don't worry about it. Like Coach Reg got y'all. Like we're gonna be ready. We're gonna be ready to go this year. And then there's me and this guy right here. Like this is my guy. Like family, friend, more like a little brother to me than anything. That's my guy right there. Like Jamar, when we met, we clicked instantly. Like it wasn't even like it wasn't even a thought. Like you would have thought we known each other 20, 30 years the way we
I was just about to say that was my thing. I was like, it was kind of like I didn't have to force nothing. I had to really fake the funk or whatever. And that's my thing. Like you have people when you come home, I kind of want to, if I want to talk, I don't want a family opinion. Not saying that you're not family, but I don't want like my sisters and brothers saying. I kind of want somebody from the outside real quick. Like, hey, let me get your input real quick. You kind of want that unbiased person in your ear, but you can also trust their opinion. It's usually not going to steer you in the wrong direction.
Right.
Like I'm pretty sure. I would hope that we're at the point that we're comfortable. I'll be like, hey, yo, Reg, you fucked up, right? Excuse my language. You
absolutely.
Fucked up. But yeah, so like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's the same way. Like you can hit me like, hey, bro, you kind of out of pocket. Oh, my bad. Hey, look. Hey.
Hold on, wait. We've had those moments already.
Oh, you're right.
Shout out to our blended family. Like our family is wild. Shout out to all of them. Like
I totally forgot. That's crazy.
We've had those moments.
Hey, yo. Facts. Oh man. But Sarah, I want to kind of, you had said something about the Army, about growth or whatever. I kind of want to get this misconception too.
Oh yeah.
2 things. The first one is that the Army is not all about shooting or whatever. Like
right.
So I actually went in like I was a spoiled teenager. I literally just hit 18 and I was a spoiled teenager. Even though we had nothing, I was still spoiled. I don't know if that makes any sense. I hope y'all caught that. That was a bar right there. Even though we had nothing, I was still spoiled. But,
exactly.
And I was it was to the point where I didn't know my personal preference in body wash because my mom bought everything. So whatever she bought, that's what I used. So when I got to basic and we had to go to the shop, they were like, hey, you got 5 minutes to get your like hygiene stuff. I remember sitting there like, I don't even know what I like. I'm just going to grab Irish Spring and go for the thing. I was like, I don't know. And then next time I come back, I grab Old Spice. I was just trying to figure out what I like.
Try everything.
But yeah, it just like as a man, it was like the stuff that I couldn't get from my mom and the male figures I had in my life. It kind of taught me how to grow up and get that common sense factor. You have to, that has to kick in. So I think that's one thing. The second thing I want to say, I want everybody to look at me, look at my face. For the people that have audio, I want you to hear the sound of my voice and say, Army people are just regular people with benefits.
That's it.
I ain't got no money, bro. Stop asking me for money on Cash App. I ain't got it, bro. I ain't got it.
Hey, you doing better than most though.
So here's the thing, okay? I'm gonna give y'all the secret. This is the thing the Army don't want y'all to know, right? So I live on post. That means I don't pay any utilities because the Army pays that for me. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I do still have bills. It's just not the bills that you guys pay on the first of the month. Rent comes out of my paycheck. I get
It
that.
does.
I get it, but it comes out of my paycheck.
It
I
does.
ain't got no. I'm gonna get this shit on a t-shirt. I ain't got no money. I might dress nice. That's because my clothes look nice because 24/7 I'm wearing a brown uniform all the week. So when I do dress up, excuse me for wanting to put on some fresh sneakers. Shout out to all the sneakers out there, including Mr. Boston over there. But I like putting on my little sneakers or whatever when I do go out and I don't have to lace up my boots. So once again, we ain't got it like that. Don't hit me up on the 1st and the 15th asking for so because them bills need to be paid, okay? And then I'm buying a pair of sneakers. That's the paycheck.
Right.
And see.
And see. So,
oh shoot.
I mean, we're gonna jump into first topic of the day, which is the NBA playoffs.
Jesus face.
So we're gonna start right here. Like we're gonna start here. Let's start with the Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker, CP3, and how they're in the NBA Finals for the first time in 23 years. We're talking about a Phoenix Suns team who 2 years ago was at the bottom.
At the bottom.
Man. And then they get a coach in Monty Williams. They play somewhat good before the pandemic. We get to the bubble, they go undefeated in the bubble, and then they add who I call the point god, because I call him the point god, CP3, the ultimate leader, awesome teammate, and they go to the second seed in the West and now are in the finals. Let's talk about it because they also knocked out, your team in the background there. They knocked out your Lakers.
Okay.
So let's talk about it.
You said a lot there. So I want to start off by saying congratulations to CP3.
Yes.
He made it.
Yes.
Like if anybody that's from the North Carolina area kind of know, like CP is kind of one of those guys. A lot of people from my high school, they seen when he dropped 61 after his for his dad that passed away. So it was kind of one of those things growing up. One of all, he's about like a couple inches taller than me. So it was easy to relate to somebody that short that was born like that or whatever. So like CP3 has always been like one of my top point guards outside of him and Rondo are probably my favorite point guards that are in the league now. I mean, we can always say LeBron James is a point guard, but like a true point guard, the traditional point guard, that's kind of what you're taught. At least in my era, that's what you're taught. Now it's all about shooting threes, but that's another story. But
table that.
The true point guard, I would say CP3 is well deserved. I feel like he doesn't get his flowers because he's been bounced out on some very good teams. He's been bounced out. He's been up 3-1. He was up 2-0. Been bounced out. Had a bad history with injuries. He caught COVID this playoffs. Like you can't.
Listen, I was scared. I was scared when he caught COVID.
I was like, here we go again. I was like, golly.
Listen, even when they was up 3-1, you heard what he said in the post game. He said, "Let's not talk
about that." Yeah. Let's not talk about that.
I think Phoenix can win it all. Like I think Phoenix will probably win this whole thing.
All right.
We'll talk about the East. We'll talk about the East in a second.
Okay, but all right. So I would say they have the tools too. I feel like CP3 is probably the most, probably one of the smartest point guards the NBA seen in a long time. Outside of maybe Steve Nash and Jason Kidd.
And Rondo.
I would say Rondo now, but I'm saying like people that like, at least in my era, I was like, for me, it was Steve Nash and Jason Kidd, like the smart point guards. And then you have Rondo and CP3 kind of as far as IQ wise. But I feel like with that, like it's the CP3 effect. Like every team he's been on has dramatically increased.
Yeah.
He turned the Clippers into Lob City. Then he goes to Houston, does his thing. Then he takes a pit stop with the Thunder. gives
Yeah.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander a shoe contract. Like things happen when CP3 is on your team.
Yes. Yes.
So that's why I said I kind of even DeAndre Ayton said it. I think DeAndre Ayton's been in the league for what 3 years now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's 3. But yeah,
Is
he
it
was that's the
3?
best thing he's been in for his
Yeah.
career.
Yeah. It's
I don't
3
know. I know
years.
it's like I think it's 3, and he's like it's the best thing he had for his career. And everybody that kind of watched the Phoenix Suns, they just got tired of random point guards. No offense to Cameron Artis-Payne, but random point guards run the point, and that's all Devin Booker needed. He don't need to be the
Well,
ball handler.
well, they didn't really ever have a true point like CP. They had
Yeah,
Rubio.
yeah.
They had who did they have last year when they were in the bubble? I can't remember who they had last year, but they've had okay guard play, but they've never had no one of CP's level, CP's
Right.
basketball IQ,
Mhm.
someone who leads and puts everybody in the right spot, even Book. We gonna talk about this Stephen A. Smith comment, but we gonna hold off on that because when we talk Book, I want to really talk about Devin Booker. So let's talk about some of the other teams in the West, some of the disappointments in the West. Do you feel like the Clippers were a disappointment, or are you just going to hang this on the fact that Kawhi's injured and PG just couldn't do it by himself? He was outgunned.
Okay. So, all right, it's a lot of questions. I'm trying to see if I can answer all of them with one big one. I feel like the Suns. I'm trying to be careful how I say this, but I feel like the Suns. All right, in the playoffs, you kind of need talent and a little bit of luck. And I feel like
There you go.
they got this like the perfect blend. Just like LeBron last year, as much as I love my Lakers, I feel like we were in the bubble. LeBron took the opportunity. He seized the opportunity like he should have. And he pressed the issue and he got his chip. Everybody was injured from the Lakers. I think the Lakers were the only, and the Clippers, the Clippers,
And Denver.
who else they play?
Denver.
And
Denver was injured.
Denver?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm saying how many wins? Like, I know the Lakers got 2 against the Suns. Then they went to the Nuggets next, right?
They swept the Nuggets.
They swept the Nuggets. Then they went to the Jazz. Did the Jazz get any wins or one? Just one?
Well, hold up. Did they play? I thought they played the Nuggets in the second round, not the Jazz in the second round. The Jazz played the Clippers in the second round.
Oh, okay. So it was just Lakers, then Nuggets, then.
Yep. And then Clippers.
Then Clippers. Okay. So
they got 4 losses throughout this. They got 4 losses throughout this whole playoff.
Right. And so my thing is like everybody could say like, well, if we all weren't, that's like how everybody's been saying like if LeBron wasn't in the bubble, it'd been a totally different story. I feel like they got lucky with key players getting injured. With that being said, I feel like shout out to Shannon Sharp. I'm probably going to quote him a lot on the show, by the way. That's my guy. Okay. But he did make an interesting point, though. He found DeMarcus Cousins came out and said he didn't understand where this narrative came, where like everybody's been against Paul George in the playoffs. And then Shannon Sharp was saying basically that he gave himself the nickname Playoff P, even though it was a joke, but he didn't shy away from the nickname, basically. He gave himself the nickname. Nobody gave it to him, and he came up with it. So then when you have all these shortcomings or whatever, it's going to get exposed. People go make fun of you. It's the internet, social media days or whatever. So that my thing is, I felt like, first of all, as much as they paid that man, okay, Kawhi or no Kawhi, it should have been at least better. But they did have like key players. Like I feel like Zubac, he was out. I feel like he could have made a difference on the boards and all that good stuff. But yeah, there was a lot. Like a lot of people were out, and I feel like the Suns. And shout out to Monty Williams. I think he's one hell of a coach. I've been talking about Monty Williams for a long time now, and I'm really like, there's a lot of plays that he draws up, and it's just like, bro, I think I was telling you on the phone, and you see the same play over and consistently on the playoffs. He draws the same play, doesn't really shy from it, and he's like the best in-game adjuster I've seen in a while, outside of Greg Popovich. But he's a real good in-game adjuster.
That lob play that he called for Aiden at the end of the game against the Clippers, was the perfect drawed up play at that moment. Like it was
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
He knew the rule about if you throw the ball at the rim on the inbounds, it can't be called for goaltending. Perfect
Right.
call. Aiden has been playing out of his mind.
But
Dude
he's
has
just doing
showed
his
up.
job. I think that's the thing. Like when you just do your job, like he's not trying to extend to the 3-point line. He's there to grab buckets and dunk on people. That's
What
it.
is what does Doc Rivers say? Be a star in your role. And he
That's it.
understands that better than anybody.
And look, the crazy part is like Shaq said it about Rudy Gobert. Look, you could be like, oh, just do your job and you will get paid. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's about to get paid. And he's literally, but it's crazy because I think he was number one overall pick. Everybody's
Yeah.
like, well, he wasn't really doing nothing. I was like, bro, he's legit. He's not one of those Joel Embiid's. He's not a
No.
Jokic. You know what I'm
No.
saying? He's not one of those. He's one of them. I'm gonna back you down. I'm gonna do a little
Mm-hmm.
flick real quick. He ain't got no post move to save his life, but he will
Nope.
grab some boards and he will
Yeah.
dunk on you.
He's active and he runs the floor. He runs rum. He's a rum runner.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah.
rum runner. He runs rum to rum. Your Lakers, where do y'all go from here? Now, I know everyone's saying that if AD was there, that series would have been totally different. And
It would.
I believe that series might have went 7 if AD was there. I think it would have went 7, but I think that Phoenix team and the way they play, even though I don't count against Bron, and I'm not the biggest Bron fan in the world because I'm not. You know, like we will table the GOAT conversation for a whole nother episode. That's an episode all in itself. Yeah, here you go. Your GOAT is behind you. I got it. We not even going there today. We're not going there today. So I felt like the Western Conference playoffs was different. No AD. The Lakers, it showed. Brian in year what? This year 19?
He's going in the year 19 year.
Yeah, so this was season 18 for him. So it showed. It showed that he gotta have that help. He gotta have that.
I'm about to say that
he gotta have that guy.
For LeBron, for LeBron, I feel like I don't feel like he was. First of all, I don't feel like he was 100%. He even said he's not going to be back to 100%, but he can get close to 99. I don't feel like LeBron was ready just yet, personally.
So did you watch the Shop episode where he really explained that whole statement?
Yeah, that statement. Yeah.
So
but he's right though. Like I see where he's coming from.
He's right.
That's what I kind of see where he's coming from. But
you'll never be 100% again.
But I was like, I feel like I don't know. LeBron didn't seem like LeBron to me. He didn't feel like to go. I'm gonna run full speed, go 100%. Like he did either in the regular season. Like he had that one game where he was clowning Crowder or whatever, and he was just, you know what I'm saying. But it wasn't like the LeBron that I'm used to or whatever. And then like AD going out, he can LeBron. You know, AD can do his thing. He can space the floor a little bit, but he can just dump the ball down to him. Also, too, it's on my GM hat I got going on. Caldwell Pope, he got to go. Kuzma got to go. Schroeder, Dennis Schroeder won 100 mil. He definitely got to go. Like it's
100 mil.
Montrezl Harrell, I don't want to blame you if you want to leave because we got you. You the defending 6th man of the year, and you sat the bench the whole time. And like that's beyond me. If Frank Vogel, he needs to go. Like it was like he messed me. Like I feel I was more upset with the coach's strategy because I feel like Taylor Horton Hucker, THT. I always butcher his name. THT. I feel like he should got a more burn. He's not a consistent shooter, but he's a better defender than Schroeder is, in my opinion. Schroeder, he has his little moments where he gets hot. Okay, cool, but yeah, I personally, I feel like LeBron didn't have as many shooters as he wanted. We had Wesley Matthews. He's streaky, but like it just seemed like it was like 1-on-5 for a lot of that series, especially when AD went out. It was just like, all right, we're gonna watch LeBron. Ain't nobody gonna cut. But then Alex Caruso went out. It's a bit much going on. So I feel like we need to kind of redo the roster, find us a shooter. Looking at Spencer Dinwiddie. If I'm the GM, I'm trying to go out and try to see what I could do a sign and trade real quick to try to get him. I think he's unrestricted. No, my bad. I think he's unrestricted. So we can get him.
Right.
My dream, pipeline dream. I think all Lakers fans out there probably want Dame. I don't know
how. Oh yeah. Who doesn't want Dame? And we're going to talk about that too. And we're going to talk about Dame and the possibilities of him getting out of Portland.
Shoot. I feel like it would be a team. I feel like too the Sixers would probably have a better chance of getting them than we would, as far as like contract matching up and all that, because we ain't really got nothing to offer. However, I have seen Lakers grab anybody they wanted. I'm kind of spoiled in that aspect. So when people say the Lakers fans think they can have anyone, well, we have acquired everyone. So so I can't really, you can't blame me for feeling like I can't. If we can get Dame, I'm pretty sure we can. So that's my biggest thing. But I feel like next year the Lakers, if they make the right adjustments, I feel like just build another championship team. Like you kind of bank your head on shooting and defense, and that's what will be Frank Vogel's thing. Find some 3-and-D dudes and don't be scared to pay them. I feel like the best benches get paid. It's like you have like people get a $30-40 million contract and sit on the bench, but they do their job. Like I look at like Atlanta's bench; they got a pretty decent bench. Or you had, even the freaking Clippers. The Clippers had one of the best benches. And ain't nothing but shooters on that bench. Ain't nothing but shooters on the bench. And I was just like, well, why can't we do the same thing? I still stand by. We got the wrong Morris twin. I still stand by that. As much as I like, he's a Philly dude. I like his grit or whatever. But at the same time, like, nah, switch brothers real quick because.
Yeah. Good God. So let's talk about the league MVP getting swept in the second round. Joker.
Yeah. So what's the problem?
They got swept in the second round. I don't think he was.
Are you just salty because Joel Embiid didn't get MVP? Is that what that is? Is that what that is?
I'm going to stick by the statement I've been saying for over a month now. In 2001, when AI won MVP, he missed 23 games. You know how many games Joel Embiid missed this season? 23 games. 23 games. Joel Embiid was the league MVP. I don't want to hear this availability. I don't want to hear this availability crap that everybody wants to keep talking about. He was the best player on the floor this season.
Okay.
Joker showed that even in the playoffs, he wasn't really the best guy. Listen, he couldn't carry him. He couldn't carry him.
Hold up. What else did you want Joker to do? Joker was balling. Joker was balling.
Okay.
And you got people like MPJ, whatever his name is, Michael Porter Jr., whatever. And then you have Gary Harris and first of all, let's be real. Jamal Murray is the reason why they ain't had nobody in that series.
Oh, yeah. Well, they missing their top guy. Like, he's really their top guy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, Jamal Murray is, come on. Yeah. I was like, now I do agree with you that it should have been Joel Embiid. But, all right, so, because it was like, all right, you can throw it up and make valid cases for both of them. After Jamal Murray goes out, he literally carried Denver to the playoffs. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
But my issue was Joel Embiid came out the gate with his full team and kind of carried them to the playoffs. Like, I felt like, he missed a few games, but compared to the 23 games this season, compared to what Joel Embiid was missing in his career, it ain't nothing. That's an improvement.
Ain't nothing. Listen, I felt like he was the league MVP. We're going to touch on these Sixers when we start talking about the East. So, are you on board with them blowing Portland up? And how do you feel about the Chauncey Billups hiring?
So I didn't really get why everybody was kind of outraged why they hired Chauncey Billups. My man didn't need a job. Give that man his job, bro. Like, leave him alone. It's so funny to me though, because I'm like, it's crazy how they'll dig up your past over every little thing. Oh, sorry, technical difficulties, but they they blow up your past over everything. And I didn't really understand like what was the big deal? Okay, so he did have some stuff in his past, but that means he doesn't deserve a job. I didn't really get that aspect. But I think it's a nice fit. It's a change of scenery. There was, there's a couple of reports out there that were saying like Damian Lillard didn't want Chauncey, that he did want Chauncey, that he wanted Jason Kidd. But as far as blowing it up, I would have. I've seen teams blow it up for less, in my opinion. Dame's been in the league for what, 7 years now? 7 years, I think.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah,
it's time to blow it up, bro. I get it. He's trying to be loyal. But like, do you want to be loyal or do you want rings? Like that's what it boils down to.
That's a great question.
Honestly, I think Dame only knows that answer because, like, yeah, you can be loyal to like even like who was it? I'm pretty sure now John Wall's about to go on a ring chase. Like he was with the Wizards for so long, but it's time for him to go. He had to blow it up. I feel like every team is gonna have to blow it up, especially like as much as we didn't want to see it as basketball fans, the Thunder get blown up. It was time to blow it up.
Yeah.
When they got rid of James Harden, it was like after that, it was kind of going downhill after that. So I think it was just a matter of time.
I think that team has been together long enough so you've seen what they are. Like you know what Portland is. Like they're a playoff team. They're a fringe team. Like they're not a top 10 or a top 5 like competitor for a title, but they're in the mix every year. Like they're there, but they don't have enough to get over the hump. No matter how much you love Dame and CJ together, that backcourt can't win you a championship.
Yeah, I mean,
alone.
Just like alone. Yeah, about to say you had John Wall and Bradley Beal with the Wizards. They were doing that, but you just like you said, you kind of know what the identity of your team is. Like they're gonna get you a knock on the door or pretty far. I think for Portland it was the opposite. They had a pretty solid team every year. It's like stalled out in the second round. I think the one year they went to the conference finals. I think, but I think that was the ceiling for them. But like you said, I feel like they're the most is maybe a Western Conference Finals, but they always get knocked out or swept or some in dramatic fashion. But the crazy part is I feel like Dame is consistent. I always hear people say he doesn't steal the deal, but the issue I have with that is like the game has changed from where like one player can take a championship team somewhere. I don't think we're in that day and age anymore. Like
no, you gotta have 3. You gotta have 3.
And especially like in this day and age, like there was some teams back in the day that had like 1 or they had like 1 and 2. Like what was I gonna say? For a while it was like 1 and 2 for a while. Outside of the Bill Russell Celtics, it was always 1 and 2. Like you had 2 people on your team. But then like late to early 2000s, you started to see the change up. After I feel like Kobe and Shaq was over.
Yeah.
Then that's what after the Kobe and Shaq was the last like duo. People argue the D Wade and Shaq, but I feel like Flash was different. It's like Shaq really didn't do too much. I feel like Flash was different.
Shaq was older at that time. Shaq was older, but yeah.
But I don't know. I always say like this day and age, like if they got another person in Portland, but yeah, keep Dame and CJ, absolutely. But if they're not gonna get anybody, like Carmelo's probably gonna leave. Yusuf Nurkic is just Yusuf Nurkic, but yeah, it's time to blow that bad boy up.
Right. So let's talk about the East.
Jesus, fix it.
The 2 mega teams in the East, both are out the playoffs. So you have the Nets and the Sixers, 1 and 2, the top 2 teams in the East, both went out in the second round. Me being a diehard Sixers fan, my feelings are still hurt. So I understand. Benjamin David Simmons is his name. And I have been saying for 3 years, for anyone who knows me, that I wanted him traded for the last 3 years. There is no improvement in his game. His game is still the same. And it's been the same since he came into the league. Now I just think it's all mental. And I don't know if he can return to this Sixers team. Because even Embiid said it. When he gave that layup up, he gave the turning point in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You can't give that layup up in game 7. There's no way you give that layup up in game 7. Just can't. You should have dunked on Trae Young's head and went to the foul line. Make or miss, we got to 2 points. And it's a tie game again. Now you pass off to Thibault. Thibault misses the front end of 2 shots. And now we're down 1. And next thing you know, there goes Trae. There goes that man. And he's been ice cold. And I like how he plays. That kid ain't got no fear whatsoever.
Yeah. The crazy part is, I remember it's a Facebook post, man. I wish Facebook was like Twitter, where you could just kind of dig up and find your old posts and all that. But I remember when he was at Oklahoma, and I forgot what game it was, but he was doing literally the same thing with hostile crowds. So his dad had posted on Twitter, it's like, it's not like we haven't seen it before. It's just like now y'all just kind of seeing it on a bigger scale with a whole nation watching. But I was like, when he was in Oklahoma, averaging 25 and like 11 assists, going in different like spots and balling on people, and I'm just like, yo, this dude gonna be a problem. But I feel like, shout out to Lloyd Pierce, the coach of the Hawks. Once again, I feel like coaching makes a difference, because they were trash until they made that fire in the middle of the season. Then it's like they did like a bout face, and is it Nate McMillan? My bad.
Lloyd got fired. Lloyd got fired.
Yeah, Lloyd's the one got fired. Yeah, okay, yeah. So Nate McMillan, who's been a proven coach, matter of fact, and he's like, it's funny because it seems like all the assistant coaches get all the good reviews, so that when they get pointed, everybody wants to play for the assistant coach. So, but yeah, Nate McMillan was a head coach before, and like he knows basketball. So like,
he definitely knows basketball.
So like, it just changed the game, and then like the difference is, it's a hard take, and I want everybody to listen. I feel like Luka does not believe in his teammates where Trae Young does. And that's like I said, it's all opinion, not facts. But I feel like Luka feels like he knows he's capable. There's some shots that Luka knows he ain't supposed to be taking. Okay, well, you out here shooting threes on 1 foot. Okay, like, come on, like, there's not the basketball play.
But that guy's special.
He's special because like everybody's like gets stat crazy. I'm not saying he's not gonna be a special player. I feel like everybody like Luka and Trae are gonna be linked together, just like D Wade and LeBron linked together for the trade.
They're gonna be linked because of the trade. Because of the trade draft night. That's how that's gonna go.
Yeah. So my thing now is like everybody like you see the comparisons, like what's the difference between Trae Young and, first of all, it's coincidence, I think not, that Rick Carlisle decided to leave the Mavericks and go back to the Pacers, because I feel like him and Luka just didn't get right. And it's so funny because like Luka had an issue with management. Rick Carlisle leaves. Cuban's out here denying the fact that he doesn't have a problem. So why did the GM switch? The coach got kicked. Like, what happened? Like, if it wasn't true, I was like, okay, let's not make stuff up now. Because I was like, but I just feel like Luka. I feel like that Kristaps Porzingis experiment is trash. But my bad, I'm going back to the West, but back to the East. My bad, but I just feel like the Sixers with Ben Simmons. Here's the thing. I feel like I can't think of the school's name. It starts with his school he played at high school. The academy, Monteverde.
Yeah,
that one. If we said it wrong, let's correct us in the comments below. That school, he was balling. He had jump shot, everything. He goes to LSU. He doesn't really shoot threes at LSU. So it was kind of like real interesting. Like, you don't shoot threes. comes and gets drafted number 1 or whatever, and goes to the summer league. He balls out. I remember watching. I was like, cause I want to say him and Lonzo went the same year, and I was like, man, when the Sixers came to play the Lakers, I went to Las Vegas because I was like, bro, Ben Simmons versus with Lonzo, bro. I'm like, and at the time I was stationed in California, so the UCL kid, he got drafted by the Lakers. It was a big deal in California, like from top of the California to bottom of California. So I get to see Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons hitting jump shots, and I'm like, yo, this kid, Sixers got a real one. Like, pair him up with Embiid, yeah, it's going to be a problem. And the reason why I wasn't like after the first year, I'm not going to pull the plug on you because one, you've been sitting down because you've been injured for a whole season, so I'm not going to pull the plug on you. So you come back, get your little rookie of the year vibes going. Okay, do your thing, whatever. Second year, he did not. He's not.
It's an award. It's an award I didn't think he should have won. I thought Donovan Mitchell should have won rookie of the year that year. But
yes, I agree. I agree. Nah, you're right. I'm about to say that's another snub. That was one of the big snubs I've seen for rookie of the year in a long time. But no, I was just like, I didn't get it. Like second year, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he improved. He's kind of got with the speed a little bit with the NBA. I feel like coaching was still trash. What's his name? Fucking Brown. Oh, he's pissed me off. Yeah, he's pissed me off. So I felt like the coaching wasn't right because it was always, well, can you have Ben Simmons? Yeah, you can have both of them on the on the court at the same time. I mean, duh. But I feel like you got to use them right. I feel like once again, that's why I said Doc Rivers is the worst in-game adjuster in NBA coaching history because my thing is like just like everybody's like, why don't you just take him out? Because Ben Simmons needs to play at his strengths. If you know, I don't really care if you don't shoot a three. As much as everybody's like, oh, shoot the three. If you pass up on a wide open dunk and you're 6'10", 6'11", there's a problem. I don't know if you just had a mental J.R. Smith moment. I don't know what happened, but to just like pass up to that, you feel like
you want me to tell you what happened? You want me to tell you what happened? He's afraid to go to the foul line. He's afraid to go to the foul line. So he knew that Trey was going.
His head.
He knew Trey was going to foul him. First of all, he shot 33% from the foul line. So let's talk about it. Like that is the worst foul shooting percentage in playoff history with a league that had Shaq and Wilt Chamberlain in it. And you're a point guard. You can't go to the line and knock down one of two consistently. I'm not even asking you to knock down two. I'm actually knock down one of two. That's 50%.
Yeah.
You can't even do that.
I'm about to say, I don't know. I don't get it. But yeah, man. I feel like the Sixers. I don't know. They trade him.
He's got to go.
But here's the thing, though.
He can't play here next year.
Here's the thing, because I feel like, and this is I know Philly's not gonna like this, but I feel like y'all gave up a little too soon on Markelle Fultz. Cause I feel like Markelle Fultz.
Let's not do this. Let's not do this.
I said what I said.
Let's not do this.
I said what I said.
No, because I totally agree. Like I totally agree that they gave up on him too early. I totally agree. We waited for Ben Simmons. We stayed waiting for Ben Simmons, but we gave up on Markelle Fultz. I totally agree.
Hey, that man went to Orlando and says, I played y'all, because that man is playing out of his mind. Hopefully he comes back next year. I know he got busted up his knee, but like he was balling. Like that last season, he balled out. And I was just like, bro, this is what I was talking about. He got them demons out of his head and he went to play. Maybe it is a change of scenery, though, because that does help a lot. Like you got the demons that follow you.
Listen,
and, Philly fans is relentless.
Listen, he can't play here next season. That crowd is going to eat him alive.
I would hate for y'all to give him up. And then next thing you know, he goes to a team and he go crazy.
He's going to. It's just what happens. It's just what happens. He's not going to be able. He's not going to survive here. I'm just putting it out. He will look good in purple and gold.
No, not yeah, to the South Bay Lakers. He ain't coming. No, he ain't.
You going to send him to the G League now?
Man, he ain't about to play for the Lakers with all that mess. No, we don't need that negativity. You
Uh,
think he goes about he's too starstruck. He be nah. I don't even know if
so
LeBron could get him right.
so let's talk about Brooklyn. We talked about the Sixers. Let's talk about
Ooh,
the other juggernaut in the East, who everybody thought they were just going to run away with it. But again, here's the
because
thing.
they would have if they were healthy.
That's what I was about to get to. Health is a major part in this thing.
Yeah,
And
because on paper
listen,
they look nasty.
listen. And if KD wore a 15 and a half instead of a 16, that's a 3. And we talking about them playing the Hawks right now and not the Bucks.
Man,
Just want to point that out too. And that
but
man
you
is
know
special.
another thing too. Hey, nah,
That man is special.
Kevin Durant is probably like one of the most unguardable people in the league. He is
Listen.
to me, if LeBron was just a scorer, not an all around player, they would
Mm-hmm.
probably be the two like unstoppable players we have ever seen. The reason why
That get,
LeBron is quote unquote not on the same level because like KD realizes like I'm 7 feet tall. Who my wing when I do actually jump, I'm not shooting a set shot. I'm jumping
right,
on my jumper. So who's jumping with me? Like he kind of realized
right,
that at a young age. So after that, like it was
right.
nothing. And then who's stopping that? Like how handled, man, poor. Yeah, Katie's bad. But my thing is too, like, can you imagine though, like legit a healthy James Harden and a healthy Kyrie? They like when they actually were on the floor together, they actually look like offensive
Listen,
juggernaut. My thing was defense. I wanted to see how they were gonna be defensively, but
right, right. I feel like the Nets offensively, if all three are there, they've shown that it's more than enough shots for everybody to be happy.
mm-hmm.
Kyrie is probably the most dynamic ball handler and finisher at the rim at 6 foot that you'll ever see. You'll ever see.
Kyrie ain't 6 feet tall, bro.
He like 6'1", 6'2". He
How
not
about that? I thought he was like 6'2", like Steph Curry. How about say Steph Curry had the best handles in the league?
see. I think Kyrie has the best handle in the league.
Oh, okay,
We could
I take it
we
back.
could argue that point. We can argue
I
that
about to
point.
say
Like,
I don't know. That's
I
tough
think I
because
think
Steph
Kyrie
Curry,
got the
man,
best handle.
boy. Steph.
Steph's
Oh
got a
yeah, all
great
right.
handle.
Okay,
Steph's
okay,
got a great
okay,
handle.
okay. I'll take that. I say it because as far as finishing at the basket, that's always Kyrie and LeBron for me. I feel like LeBron can finish at the basket. Kyrie finishes at the basket.
Yeah,
Like that's
Kyrie.
it. Like I'm about to say. Besides that, as far as like guards though, like handles, I'll give you the slight edge to like Kyrie. I feel like to create a shot, Steph Curry got the best handles to create a shot.
I still think Kyrie takes
Not
that.
to Kyrie has to get to the basket to break that in front and get to the basket. I feel like Steph Curry. You seen when Steph Curry hit you with the boop boop and then he hit that crazy three. When
Yeah, but
Kyrie get the dribbling, he turned into Uncle Drew, and next thing you know,
yeah,
he going straight to the room or to the rim. That's it.
nah, he
That's
can
what I'll
pull
be
up
like.
too. He can pull up too, and
I'm
he can step back. Listen,
I'm not saying
Kyrie
he
is
can't do
different.
that, but when Kyrie is breaking down defender, usually he's going to the basket.
Yeah,
8 times
yeah,
out of 10, he's usually going to the basket when he's breaking down the defender. And now, if he is hitting you with it, after that point, I feel that's when he's doing his heat checks, when he starts dribbling and then he starts stepping back and all that.
right,
By
right,
that
right,
point,
right.
he's Uncle Drew at that point. There's no coming back. He went from Kyrie to Uncle Drew. That's what happened, in my opinion. Steph
Okay,
Curry just come
okay.
out and then he just nonchalantly just be playing around, dribbling around picks, hit you with a step back, might cross you over, start playing with people. Yeah, Steph Curry is different when he's just trying to get an open little jumper real quick.
So let's touch on the Hawks and Bucks. Bucks are up 3-2 down after last night. Chris
Yeah,
Middleton, Chris Middleton went crazy. Um, do
about
you
time.
think do you think the Bucks close out game 6?
It's better if Trae Young come back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's what that is. I feel like if
So if
Trae
you
Young come back,
Go ahead. Finish your thought. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm about to say, if Trey Young come back, he come back, he does his thing. All right, cool. Like we might have a game. Like I feel like with Trey Young is always a factor. Now, if Giannis come back, even though I just seen the alert on my phone that said that Giannis is doubtful for the next game, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I figure it kind of falls on Trey Young at this point because they don't have an answer for Middleton right now, and I feel like to kind of weather the storm, you get Trey Young in there to dish out some stuff. So we'll see. I think it's gonna be a good game though. I tell you what, though, if Atlanta win, it's gonna be a party like no other in Atlanta.
Listen, facts.
Man,
I think the Bucks close out here. I think the Bucks will close out in 6. It's in Atlanta, but I think they'll close out in 6. I think Suns Bucks will be a very good series, but I got Suns winning in 6. I think the Suns match up very well. CP and Drew Holiday. CP's the better guard there, even though Drew's outstanding. One of the most
he's
underrated
the better guard. But I'm about to say defensively, Drew can lock that up.
Yeah, but Drew's one of the most underrated guards in the league. Middleton versus Booker. I give the edge to Booker. I think Booker's a better player.
Yeah, he's a better player, but we got like offensive defense though. Like, so my thing is, what my man Middleton's like 6'8", long arms. He's a better. So that's why I say I feel like it's gonna be literally it's who out coaches who.
But I believe they're gonna put Bridges on Middleton, which Bridges is 6'7", long armed, great kid. Shout out Mikal. That's my guy. Mikal Bridges, that's the guy. Sixers broke my heart when they traded him on draft night. But we're not going to talk about that. But I think they just match up well. And Ayton versus Giannis is going to be the matchup to watch. Because I think Ayton's going to end up sticking Giannis. So I feel like that's the matchup really to watch.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. They're going to mess around and put Jay Crowder on Giannis. Don't ask me why.
You know what? I forget about Jay Crowder. Yeah.
They're going to put Jay Crowder on Giannis.
I think they're going to mix it up. I think Monty's going to mix it up. I think Monty's going to mix it up.
I can't wait to see the matchup PJ Tucker versus Jay Crowder. I ain't going to lie. I got my popcorn ready for that one.
That's going to be good. That's going to be good basketball.
I just want to see a fight.
I don't see a fight, but it's going to be good basketball. How do you feel about Pat? How you feel about Pat Bev, man? The push on CP, even though he apologized the next day online on social media, but I still feel like it was unwarranted. You guys have been chirping the whole series. Like, look,
I ain't gonna hold you. They like CP3. He older now, so he kind of get it. I feel like old CP3 would have threw hands with the ball.
So my issue with the whole thing is nobody from his team went at Pat. Like I didn't like that.
So I mean, at this point,
you push my top guy. You're not gonna push my top guy. Like you're not gonna push my top guy. Like I don't.
But Booker's defense, I already got a broke nose for y'all. All right, I ain't about to risk nothing else. I ain't risking nothing else. Okay.
Jay Crowder's supposed to be the goon. Jay Crowder's supposed to be the goon.
That's what I was saying. So, like, okay, so that's a very good observation. I didn't really take it from that point. I felt like the Suns just kind of knew they had the game in the bag at this point, and they didn't care.
They did.
And that they would have, and they fouled Lily. That's why I say it kind of goes to show CP3's leadership. If CP3 would have reacted, then the Suns would have reacted. But when CP3 kind of stood up and it was just laughing it off, everybody was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's out of here, this, that, and the so. As far as Pat Bev, though, I've been saying this, and I'm going to keep on saying it. Pat Bev can catch these hands, okay? I don't like him. I feel like he's a dirty player. He talks so much trash, and he tried to bully LeBron. LeBron will eat you up and spit you back out. If you don't go sit down somewhere get a comb, okay? Brush your teeth. You look dirty. You look dingy.
So
Yeah,
My homie said Pat Bev is a black pair of Air Force Ones, and
yeah.
that's all I'm gonna say
Can't
about
unsee
that.
it. Can't unsee it, bro.
Can't see it, right? You can't see that. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
I can't
Um,
stand Pat Bev though. Oh, like for me, I was like, why? Like that. If you can give me a solid reason why, because he didn't say that.
right,
CP3 gave him the look like, yeah, we bust your ass. He
right.
kept it walking, and Pat Bev like he said, emotions got the best of me, man.
Yeah, whatever.
What emotions,
Listen,
bro? You lost. You're trash. Get out of here. You weren't saying that when you crossed CP3. You went to the hole. We ain't gonna talk
right.
about that.
So
You man, shut up.
listen.
See, my bad, y'all. I got a little emotion. I hate them. I don't like them. I don't like them.
So I believe this has been a very, very outstanding playoffs. Like the games have been very competitive. Teams are playing some of the best basketball. The Hawks have played out of their minds. Listen,
Yeah, that's a good. That's a good story. Yeah, that's a good story right there. That's
that
a
Hawks
real good
team is
story.
not afraid of nothing. Like they're not afraid of nobody. They come in your
Yeah,
gym and they try to put up buckets.
yeah. Nah, that's it. I'm about to say, like I said, to me, like you're Coach Red, so you I always had a special relationship with like my coaches
Right,
and stuff like that. So I've always looked at it from. I was always that one person that was like I study film and I did all that with my coaches. So like
right.
I always say a good coach can take a bad team into like the Cinderella story. So like literally to see the Hawks how they were before Lloyd Pierce got fired, Nate McMillan takes over, and the whole culture changed. Like everything, because John Collins like he could have signed a contract, but he got like, nah, I'm gonna get out the mud. I'm gonna do whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people like Clint Capella. We thought he was just washed up. His time after Houston was a done deal. He come out,
Nah,
he doing his thing over there too
he getting
now.
at it. He getting at it. He getting at it.
I tell you who I forgot about.
Who?
Whatever his last name is, start with a Vic. Bonjovic,
Oh
whatever
yeah.
Vic. Hey, I forgot he was on the Kings and then he got traded
Yes.
over there. Man, I've been watching him this series, but my boy Kevin Herter, though, that's my dog. That's my
K-Vod.
dog.
They call that man K-Vod. That man get busy. That man
Kayvon,
get busy. They call that man K-Vod. Listen, that man get busy.
Kayvon, man. I'm telling you, that's my dog. But yeah, nah, like, so I ain't gonna lie. I feel like this playoffs has been trashed to a certain extent because when I think of playoffs, I think of stars. There's been too many stars that
Right.
have been injured. For me, like maybe one or two, I can deal with, but it seems like every series we have lost a star or stars
Yeah.
on both teams,
Mm-hmm.
and it hasn't been
Mm-hmm.
the same. Like I was really wanting to see like, all right, boom, give me my Jamal Murray led Nuggets. Like that was a team when Kawhi went down. Like, dang, I wanted a full step
Yeah.
Clippers team when AD went down. I was like, golly, we just can't catch a break. Like it's too many people. Now Giannis and Trey went down.
Yeah.
Joel
Even
Embiid was hurt for a
he
little
got
bit.
hurt. Yeah, he was hurt and still
It
is
was
hurt.
just
Like
too many.
hopefully he gets that knee repaired now and he be ready to go next year.
Yeah, it was too many injuries for me. It's like, but all in all, don't get me wrong. It has been some like classic games. Like I still think KD had the best performance of the playoffs so far,
Oh,
outside of
absolutely.
CP3. Outside of CP3,
So
Game Six is now.
yes.
Those are probably the two that I will remember for a long time. But yeah, KD hands down. I think that was like one of the best performances. And then CP3 said, "I got you one better," and he went out. And it's crazy because he went back to back series with a closeout game.
Right.
But I don't know, man. But yeah, I feel like the more stars, the better when I think of playoffs. So, but nah, I'm really looking forward to the finals. Hopefully, we get your Suns Bucks. But if not, I'll take Suns versus Atlanta, though, boy. I think that'll still be an
Oh,
entertaining
listen,
series.
I think that's gonna be entertaining. Even if it's Sunderland, I think that's gonna be entertaining. Oh, I
That's gonna
definitely
be
think
a
that's gonna be
crazy
entertaining.
series. That's gonna be a
Um,
crazy series.
so moving right along, we're gonna talk about some current events. So let's talk about Mr. Pudding Pops himself, Mr. Cosby, getting released from jail. How do you feel about Mr. Cosby getting released? Did you have
That's
to do
my
the hands though?
hey, that's my dog. But so I know everybody that knows me. I kind of been had the same stance with the total Bill Cosby thing. Um, one, I kind of grew up. I was a honorary Huxtable, so I have a
Okay.
special relationship with Mr. Bill Cosby. Uh, I thought Theo was my brother from another mother. Like it was a lot. Okay, I was in
Got you.
love with
Got
Rudy.
you.
Like it was a lot going on. It was a lot going on. But at the
Got you.
same time, so I'm a little biased when I say this. But okay, so the issue I had with Bill Cosby getting arrested in period because of the Harvey Weinstein's and now
Exactly.
number 45, what he used to say about it was just too much going on, right?
Right.
And people,
Mm-hmm.
Derek Chauvin, the dude that stepped on my boy George Floyd's neck, got 22 years. It sounds good. So you look at it, he can do 15 years and get out, right? So you meant to
Absolutely.
tell me this man committed blatant murder, right? We all seen it, but he's not locked up. He can stay away, but you locked up Bill Cosby for somebody says, oh, he did this. Now, the issue I had was everybody was coming at Felicia Rashad yesterday. I don't know if you saw that was trending. How everybody,
No, I didn't
Felicia
see that.
Rashad, oh, yeah, they was, first of all, you don't mess with Felicia. Okay, you don't mess
Right.
with Felicia. She's
Right.
up there with the heavens and the angels and stuff. You don't mess with her.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
but
Absolutely.
she showed support. Like she was like, justice has been served. Whatever. Shout out to Pennsylvania for getting it right. Blah blah blah. And
Right.
then Aunt Viv came at her on Twitter, and that led like the whole group off. We ain't.
Well,
Hey,
you know,
don't do that. Don't do
well,
that
you
to
know,
Aunt Viv now.
listen, like Aunt Viv. I don't want to butcher her real name, but she's
Janet
always got.
Hubert.
She's yes, Miss Janet Hubert, who always has an opinion about everything and everyone.
Mm.
You could have kept
But
that opinion to yourself yesterday.
yeah, she kind of came at it like basically saying she was wrong or whatever. But I personally feel like if even if Bill Cosby did it, not saying that victims have a time limit on when to say things, but it was just like, why now would you wait for something to be said now? That was one. Even though a lot of celebrities were saying like, yeah, Bill Cosby used to do his little thing or whatever, and we knew. But I just think, me personally, I didn't get it. One, he was old, but I was like, if you let a Harvey Weinstein go, why not Bill Cosby?
What's
Uh,
good? What's good for the goose better be good for the gander. Then, as my dad like to
yeah,
say
I
all the
felt,
time.
yeah, nah, that's facts though. And then I was like, that was my biggest thing. And I didn't really like the Me Too part of it. Like a lot of people started coming out saying, well, yeah, he did this to me too. I'm like, bro, like you don't even remember to take your own medicine without somebody tell you, but yet you remember what Bill Cosby did to you. Whatever. I feel like y'all want y'all 15 minutes of fame. That was just my personal take of it. If it was my daughter in
Right.
that situation, I would hope that she would come out and say whatever, and I'll be totally behind her. So I'm not saying that this didn't happen. I'm just saying that I didn't like how there's a lot. I think Bill Cosby, like the story was Bill Cosby was trying to buy a program or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
he got a lot of
He was trying to buy
pushback. And then
NBC. He was trying to buy
NBC,
NBC.
okay, yeah, I think that like it was a lot. Sounds like I didn't really like how that all went down, and they just kind of butchered his name and made it worse. He felt like he got a like a Colin Kaepernick of it all, kind of in a sense.
Yeah.
But that's my take. I'm glad he's out. He can kind of
Yeah, I'm
live
definitely.
in peace.
Listen, I'm glad that 83-year-old Bill Cosby is out of jail. During his day and in his time, that was okay. Like giving a girl a quaalude and all those things. Like that's what they did. Like I had to ask older people who are around that age that was partying during that time. That was their thing.
But I didn't even know what a
That,
Quaalude was.
bro, I didn't either until I had to ask somebody who's way older than me. Like I had to ask the
And I
question.
said, what the heck is a Quaalude, bro?
And it was like, that's
Right.
what we did back then. Like, you give a girl a quaalude, she get loose, and you have some fun. Oh, all right. Either you take one, they take one, and everybody get loose and have a good time. So when older people were telling me this, it's like that was their time. Like that was how they partied. I'm not
Right.
like I can't hold 50 something years ago against a man who's 83 years old now, or
Right.
at the
Yeah.
time he was 81 when this all started. Like, nah,
Yeah.
I can't hold
Exactly.
that against him. Like and he was America's dad at one point in time. Like Bill Cosby couldn't do no wrong at one point in time. Like, but now all of a sudden, these women come out of nowhere 50 something years later and they want to accuse him of rape because the
Man,
world has changed, but it wasn't rape back then, and you guys were okay with what happened.
right, exactly.
So I just can't. Moving on to today's big news, though, Miss Richardson getting a 30-day suspension for marijuana. That's tested positive for marijuana. I am
Yeah,
highly. Let me get this out, and people are not gonna like my take. They're not gonna like my take because everybody's like, "Let her run," and I'm like, "No, like you knew the rules when you got into track. This is not like this is something you didn't know." And this is the part where I have to say people don't hold people accountable for what they do. You knew exactly what USADA's rules were before you ran the race. You've been in track for damn near your whole life, from what I understand about this young lady. So you understood what it was to go to the Olympics, go to the Olympic trials, and race. So you knew you couldn't smoke weed. Like you knew that was a banned substance. Even though weed is legal across the country right now, and other countries it's legal as well, it's still a banned substance in USADA. So if you knew this going into your race, and this was your goal in life is to go to the Olympics and win a gold medal, why would you put that in jeopardy?
so
Like
this
I'm
this
that
is where
person.
we're
I'm
going to.
sorry.
No,
Let's
you made an
go.
interesting point. You made an interesting point. I looked at it from both sides. So for all y'all pot smokers out there, you can take a lot of detoxes or whatever for it to clear your system, and you can get it out some people get it out within a few hours. Some people take a week. Some people take
Yeah.
months. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So from what she had said, she had smoked it, hit a few blunts of 2 or 3 or 4 to kind of like cope with her mom's passing or whatever. She wasn't smoking after like a track meet or while she was in the trials, and like she wasn't smoking in trials, but it was still in her system. 2,
Okay.
I would say on this part, I do agree with you to a certain extent. I feel like um, it's different once you're in high school. Once you went in college, you track, you can smoke weed and kind of get away with it, right? If that's a habit, it's kind of going to run with you. All right. When she got a blue check verified overnight
Right.
after she did. You see what I'm saying? So the issue I have, I feel like people are not prepared for the spotlight and the things that come with being overnight
Being
celebrities.
famous. Exactly.
And I feel like she should have had people that were in her corner that kind of helped her out with this process a little bit better. If you're going for the Olympics, that means you started about a year before. Like it's not like, oh, I'm gonna wake up and try for the Olympics.
Hold up. Here's the thing. You got to realize this Olympics was postponed for a year. So you started this process almost 3 years ago.
Right. Okay. So even still, that's even better. So you start this process or whatever, you're training for it for the trials.
Right.
All right. So you're doing your thing, whatever. My thing is, all right, so her mom passed recently, she's coping, doing her thing, but she still has the trials coming up. She passed the trials, she makes headlines all over or whatever because of her hair, her nails, she's black, the whole nine, the good story. She goes viral overnight, celebrity status within about 48 hours. Super quick.
Yep.
Cause ain't nobody heard it unless you follow track like a nerd.
I don't follow track, so
You
I didn't know who
exactly.
she
I
was.
don't either. Exactly. It's like literally it was overnight. So that was my biggest takeaway. Like I feel like she should have had a better team in her corner. Like, hey, yo, like, hey, you can't smoke no weed or whatever. Because maybe I'm just saying I don't know if she did know. However, it's kind of hard not to know. But like you said, I feel like I just came from California. Weed is legal.
Oh yeah.
So like my thing is like you can smoke, do whatever you want to do
But that's
or
why I
whatever.
said, like, that's exactly why I said what I said in the beginning. Like, it's legal a lot of places. I get that. But you know what USADA is, and you know they tell you, they give you the paperwork for USADA. So it's not like USADA is the national doping testing organization. So they do all the testing for boxing, UFC, the Olympics, all these major sports they do the testing for. So that information is not hard to find. And when you're going into these things, especially when you're going into the trials, they give you that information.
So I don't know, because Mike Phelps came out and said he was smoking during the whatchamacallit, and ain't nothing happened to him. He's the most decorated Olympian ever. But I feel like because she whooped everybody's ass out of nowhere and the way she looks, I feel like they wanted to make an example out of her. That's my personal thing.
I mean, like, that's a lot of people's theory, is that the world is scared of her, but I'm like, y'all forget that Jamaica got Shelly Ann. Like, Shelly Ann is a beast.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I'm about to say, ain't nobody scared of her, but
Jamaica is a beast.
She really, I feel like she's the representation of like black, and I don't care what I like. I'm gonna go out with
my orange hair, my long nails.
Yeah, like I'm out here not gonna change up my look for none of y'all. So I do commend that part. But the thing is, I feel like even if, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna put myself in her shoes. I'm a young teenager. I'm running track. I'm an instant phenomenon, right? I got my relatives probably signed my papers for me so I could get into the Olympic trials or whatever. Ain't nobody reading that black and white for real. I don't do no drugs, don't do no steroids.
Especially us. We're not reading it.
I'm just being real. Ain't nobody about to read none of that. Like, I'm about to, hey, I'm just trying to get to the Olympics, bro. Like, hey, what I gotta sign?
So she's going to get to go to the Olympics, though. They announced it today. Like, she's going to get
to go in the relays, but
she get to run in the relays.
So this is why I say I didn't really. That's why I say I feel it's a whole bunch of bull, because like, you mean to tell me she could run the relays, but she can't do the 100 meters?
The reason why she can run in the relays is because the last day of her suspension is the first day of the relays. So how the track and field events work? Her suspension falls inside of the 100 meters. So the 100 meters falls inside her suspension. That's why she can't run the individual race. But the last day of her suspension, the next day is the first day of the 100 meter 4x100 relay. So that's why she can run in the relay, because her suspension will technically be over.
Okay. All right.
So that's why that's why they're allowing her to run. So, because, like, a lot of people like Pat Mahomes and a lot of celebrities have jumped online and was like, man, just let her run. I don't understand why y'all trying to hold her back. I agree. I mean, listen, like, she should be running. Like, she should be running, and we should get the Olympic race that everyone wanted to see. Her versus Shelly Ann. Like, I wanted to see her because Shelly Ann is a beast.
Beast. You're right. That's like, so funny to say that, though, because I was like,
there's names in track and field that you know, and you know the names from Jamaica. Like, you know them names. Like, they're names that you know.
Yeah.
And Shelly Ann is one of them names that you know.
Right.
So
no, I agree. I agree. I feel like that right there was. I just felt like you said, it kind of took away from like the match of like you said, everybody kind of wanted to see, but at the same time, like, I get it. You kind of have to make an example, like, hey, but it was like one of those things. Like, I bet now she knows, like, probably want to surround herself with some people that actually got her best interest in heart.
Right.
I know me personally, if I make it to fame or whatever, the first thing I'm gonna do is get somebody to read. Cause I ain't reading that. I'm paying somebody to read.
Tell her I'm in the middle of something. Go ahead. See you, Stank. Daughter's leaving. She's going with her mom for the weekend. Yeah. So I definitely feel the same way. I feel like, did we touch everything we wanted to touch today?
For the most part, yeah, man. I feel like we kind of hit on anything you kind of want to say, like a final thought, anything.
this was a good first episode, man. Like we talked about a lot here today. You know, we introduced ourselves to everyone. I hope everyone enjoys this first episode of B&B on the call. You could definitely get us. We are using the Anchor app to upload the audio version, and the Anchor app will publish our podcast on Spotify. So please be on the lookout for that. The video version will be on YouTube. So check out the YouTube page. It will be under B&B on the call. You know, I'm happy that we are embarking on this journey together. Me and my cuz, my little bro, as I like to call him. For all my people who know me, we will do a sneakerhead sneakers edition of this thing. He's shaking his head because he don't want to do this, but we're gonna do one because you know me being.
Hey, I'm gonna be a fan just like the rest of everybody else. I'm just gonna sit back and watch. I ain't on y'all. I ain't on y'all level, but I'm just gonna watch, bro, because I'm like, man, I want to see what y'all got.
Right. So, and on that episode, I'm gonna try to bring some guys in who are also sneakers heads and guys who can really talk this culture with us.
Hey, I'm about to say we got some other topics too, man. It's gonna get real interesting. I want to do an episode. I talked to some people, and we're gonna kind of talk about kind of religion and church, and kind of get into the democracy of the church.
Okay.
That should be why do people leave the church, whatever.
Yeah.
And we talk about. And why is it? It's gonna be a little ugly. We're gonna step up the toe and probably bring my moms in here to kind of talk about some of the church aspects, and then of course we're gonna have our lovely wives on the show. Hopefully, it might be the next show. It might be the next show. Who knows?
Yeah, we're gonna do a marriage episode also. Like we will have a marriage episode. We're gonna bring some Black fathers on too. We're gonna do a fathers episode.
Yeah, man.
I'm very big on being a dad. Like I think that is my ultimate purpose in life is to be a father to my kids. That's probably my most important job I have out of all the things I do. Coaching basketball, working for the post office, which I didn't even mention earlier. Yeah, I do work for the post office. Don't blame me when your mail is late or whatever, because I don't know.
Blame Reggie when your mail's messed up. That's what I
heard. But you know, we're gonna touch on some topics here, and we're gonna touch on some real life stuff. We're gonna always talk current events. We're gonna talk sports. We might even dabble into music. You know, like we might dabble.
I ain't gonna hold you. Hey, listen, because I gotta have the ultimate debate. I've been wanting to have this debate, and I'm coming with Boys II Men versus New Edition. Who you got and why? It's going down. I'm coming for y'all. I'm coming for everybody.
So did you watch the documentary on Netflix called This Is Pop?
This Is Pop?
Yeah.
I haven't yet. Don't tell me about it. Don't spoil it. I haven't saved
it. I want you to watch it because they have a whole episode dedicated to Boys II Men. So you got to watch.
Yeah, I seen that. Okay.
So and then they got the one where dedicated to Auto-Tune, where T-Pain made he made the statement about what Usher said to him. You got to watch them two episodes. They're both very good.
Okay.
I'm a documentary guy too. Like I love documentaries, so I'm all about watching documentaries.
But yeah, man, we got some stuff planned for this podcast to kick off. I know can't wait till we actually can sit in the same room and actually have this. That's going to be probably one of the funniest episodes.
Absolutely. That's going to be hilarious. We're in the same room. We're going to try to get your dad on the pod too. We got to try to get your dad on the pod.
Yeah, man. If he can get on, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Y'all can do that, man. Then this podcast might go viral if he get on there. But man, we got a lot of stuff planned. And like I said, if y'all have topics, this is the big part. Y'all got topics, or y'all got brands. I'm big on supporting brands of anybody. So you got a brand on here, you want to just reach out to myself or Reg and let them know, like, hey, put this on the podcast. And we're trying to help y'all, help us.
Yes,
put the word out there. So if you got topics you want to talk about or whatever, or you want to talk about it on the show, just reach out to one of us. And to all my Army people, y'all want to talk about some of the stuff that go on the Army, because it's getting
Listen,
real out here in these streets.
We could definitely have a conversation of being black in the Army. Like we can have that conversation.
Oh, because you wasn't with me when this joint. It got crazy out here, man. I was like, yo, I didn't know it was like this, but yeah. So it's a lot of stuff that, like I said, I even had. I've been talking about this too, so I know the reason why we kind of put this podcast out too is because like I know we both our respective parties have been kind of talking about just a outlet to talk about outside of the sports and just something that we can kind of sit back. And I think we're probably one of the first in our respective families to kind of speak on a lot of topics that our families talk about at the dining room table. And
absolutely.
And so we can have like be the voice for our respective families. So I kind of feel like this is the avenue, like I said, from brands to culture to music to a little bit of everything. I'm just trying to get like mainline and push on every platform. So for this first episode, hey, share, like, post this everywhere. I'm trying to get this bad boy to go viral real quick. And then, man, we'll see you back with another episode in the very near future.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. This was B&B on the call. You guys have a great one, all right?
Peace out.